Hey everyone, it's your boy Ricky here with Honeybee Stamps. I hope you're doing well today. We are going to be making a Christmas card using some products from their latest release. We are going to be using the Christmas Buzzwords die set. We're going to be using Hug and a Mug stamp set along with the matching die set. We're also going to be using Mugs and Kisses die set, the Crystal Kaleidoscope stencil. We're going to be using some pattern paper from the Vintage Holiday Pattern Paper Pack, and then also some white cardstock and some essentials here that you see. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and do some ink blending. I'm going to pull out my waffle flower stencil pad here, which is pretty excellent. You can check that out in the link below. It's a pretty great product. It pretty much sticks if you trust it, it'll pretty much stick. It's a sticky surface, but I still use paint. I still use tape because I'm crazy like that. We're going to go ahead and use this peached color paper, or I'm sorry, ink here that pretty much matches the pattern paper, and we're just going to go from dark to light diagonally on the card here. Now, I'm not going to cover the whole card piece because I kind of want it to fade out. So that's what you're going to see me doing here is I'm just using whatever ink is left over here and to go ahead and get that stenciled out. And now that I have that done, now I'm going to use the magic here. I'm going to use some Gina K glitter gel here, and I'm using the iridescent. And the reason I use the iridescent is because the color comes through the iridescent and it looks super nice. So you're going to see me here. This is what it looks like, the glitter glitz gel. The color is iridescent, and I'm just going to use a palette knife here, and I'm going to put it all along the cardstock here. And even this, I'm not going to cover the whole piece of the card panel up. I'm just going to do certain spots. It's kind of going to fade out how it also does with the ink. So I just didn't want to cover the whole card panel because that wasn't the look I was going for. And I just kind of wanted it to look, kind of faded out. So here we go. You'll want to take this stencil, the palette knife, and take it right away and wash it off so it doesn't get hard. But this is what the card panel looks like. And you couldn't see how shiny it was or glittery it was there, but once it dries, you'll be able to tell. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be using Mugs and Kisses here, and we are going to be cutting out one of the mugs with the die set here. I wanted to choose a spot that I thought would be good on the pattern paper to show everything on the mug here. And we're going to go ahead and tape that down. And we'll go ahead and put it through the die cutting machine. And then that will be the first part of our card that's going to be done here. As you can see, I'm taking this apart, and there's our mug with the pattern paper. It looks super cute. I love this paper, actually. I love the colors. It's very like non-traditional Christmas colors. We're going to be using a ivory colored cardstock here for the foam, and I went ahead and cut that out, and as you can see, it's there. And now the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and heat emboss the sentiment here. So I'm just taking one of the sentiments from the pack here, and I'm going to go ahead and just use a regular block, acrylic block. And then I'm going to get some embossing ink here and go ahead and get everything set up so we can do some embossing here. I'm going to use my embossing tool here to go ahead and get the static off of the card. I'm going to use some embossing ink here to go ahead and get this stamp down. And then to give it a bit of touch of fancy, I decided to go with like this peachish metallic powder that I have here, which is going to match the card perfectly. And now that we have that done, we are going to go ahead and use the matching die to go ahead and get that cut out as well. We're going to tape that down, run it through the die cutting machine. You guys know every video I'm telling you, Honeybee Stamps knows where it's at with the word dies for their sentiments because it's amazing. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and get Christmas cut out here. I'm going to use the same pattern paper that I used for the mug, and we're going to cut out the base of the word Christmas here. We're going to run that through the die cutting machine, And then that will be done. The next thing we're going to do is the second layer, and I'm going to use the cream color that I used for the foam for the coffee, and we're going to go ahead and get that cut out, and we will also run that through the die cutting machine as well and go ahead and get that layer completed so that we can do the final layer that we're going to have. And the final layer, I'm going to use a matching cardstock that kind of matches the ink, not kinda, it does match the ink that I ink blended with, and we're going to go ahead and get that cut out as well. Now we're going to use the Honeybee Creative glue here to go ahead and get that glued down onto the second card base here. And you'll see me put this down and it's like all jacked up, all kinds of jacked up. But the good thing about liquid glue is you can move it before it gets dry. So I was able to save it. We're going to put the little dot across the eye. What is that called? Thing called a tittle, I think it's what it's called. We're going to place the tittle over the eye. And then what we're going to do is take this base that has the word Christmas, and we are going to glue that down onto the actual card base there. And you see me, why'd I put the lid on the glue? I was still going to need it. I'm crazy. So we're going to go ahead and get this down and place this onto the pattern paper. And then that just looks awesome. It matches the mug, it's matching the card, the colors are coordinating. I'm here for it, honey, yes. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and cut out a base layer here. And I'm just cutting this at 4 1/8 by 5 and something. I'm sorry, I didn't measure it. I'm kind of just eyeball this. But we're going to go ahead and glue that panel down to the black mat here. And then also the same thing, you're going to see me put it down here, and then when I press down, it actually moves over and it gets crooked. But with liquid glue, we can save that. Okay, now that we have that completed, we're going to go ahead and put some foam tape on all of the good stuff here. We're going to place it on the back of the mug. We're going to place foam tape on the back of the word Christmas. We're going to place foam tape on the back of the sentiment. We're going to put foam tape on everything because everything is going to be raised on this card, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get that taped out here. And then we'll go ahead and get a little bit on the back of the sentiment. I decided to actually glue that onto the mug so it's coming off the side of the mug. And then we're going to go ahead and start removing some foam tape. So we have the foam tape being removed from the Christmas here. We're going to place that along the bottom. And then the sentiment, you'll see that it says let's get together. And then that's also glued onto the mug. And then that's pretty much going to complete the card. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. Make sure that you head over to Instagram and check out Honeybee Stamps and all the great stuff that they have going on over there. And also check out their website for the latest release. There are some really good products in this release, and I've really enjoyed playing with a bunch of these products. Also, you can find me over on Instagram and YouTube by searching for Bromero Cards. And you can see all the different things that I create as well. And yeah, so this is, I think, the third Christmas card I made with this release. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I think they're all been non-traditional Christmas cards as well with non-traditional colors. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And you guys have a great week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.